yep, that's what I want to. I just decided I'm going to do a Grand Tableau spread because I feel like it. So that's what I've actually put out on the table, and we'll just see how it goes. And this is for the general aspect of, well, a general reading, not specifics. I'd have to say I'm still partly a learner in doing the Grand Tableau or Grand Tableau or however you want to pronounce it. But here's what it looks like on the table. So, oh, and I've just got something there, hang on. I'm doing this on the fly, you know. So I've actually got my iPad sitting over here, which you might be able to see. Yeah, that's what it looks like from the back end of it a bit. So I'm just going to cruise along and hopefully not muck up, because I do have, it does mean a few things are involved in the process of doing this. I'm just going to get my Facebook group page up to see if it's going live on that, because I think, I'm hoping it's going to be live on that. And it should be live on the Periscope and the Twitter, I think. So, not going to the my time as I usually would with the daily morning ones. It's going to my Ros Boundy page, and I'd say that you're in the group live stream. So I've got that up just to see who is going to be live on that. And I don't know how to do it. This is where I'm not sure how I do this part, to show just the comments as I'm going with the live stream in this one. I want just the comments showing, and I don't know that I can. Hi Sharon. Yeah, it's that's going to be a bit of a weird one in how I'm doing that. But anyway, that's all right. I'm just cruising through it. I'm not going to be too pedantic about explaining everything. But what I have done, you can see the cards. The factor is that with the window, the lighting from the window, it actually comes through too bright for the other two decks with this spread. So I've chosen to use this deck. It is still a Lenormand deck, or Lenormand. So that's the one I'm using, and you might be able to see it's an Edward Zabrowski deck. So I quite like it. It's almost reminiscent of the Rider-Waite Tarot as far as some of the diagrams go, some of the artwork. I think there has been some borrowing of artwork from other places, but that's okay. I mean, we're allowed to do that. So it's not a big deal. And we'll get into it, because there was something else I was going to do too. Hang on, I'll just drop this so you can get a good look. If you want to take a screenshot, I think what I have to do, I'll just go like that. You take a screenshot. I'm pretty sure you can actually still see what that is doing. And I'm going to get my instruction sheet for the Grand Tableau. So, I left the microphone, silly me. So, I do still use an instruction sheet for this one, because it's, I'm liking the practice. Hi Marie, lovely to see you. You know, on a lazy New Year's Day for me. Some of us might be working. And yeah, hi Alfredo, been a long time that I've seen you, but it's lovely to see you here. That works, as in which one works, the lighting. I'm still trying to find where I've put the actual instructions for this particular spread. There it is. So there's instructions. I am going to do another course on this, or another, you know, discovering the Lenormand Grand Tableau, because there is a few steps to this, and I'm just going to quickly, you can tell I've got it all sitting there under my chin, can't you? And there's other spreads there that I've got as well. So I take those ones out. Whoopsie, whoopsie. I've got one that's actually falling out of my packet. It's lots of different notes that I collect and do because I like to keep on top of it. There's some notes of houses of the Grand Tableau. That's the layout that it actually is. But what you can't see is the 4 that is at the bottom because it doesn't all fit in being really that legible with the, oops, now I've got to move that, with the camera where that is up there because it's actually quite high above the table. And to be able to see the whole spread as it is there. Hi Tracy, nice to see you here too. Just going to put that there. I can actually see the names. It's why I've got the iPad sitting there so that I've actually got the names easy to see of who's in the group, the card reading group. So I'm just going to put a couple of those things there. Here's my trusty little stick. One of the things with doing a Grand Tableau is actually finding where the female, because I'm the female and it's with that intention of my stuff there, well, it's not specifically my reading. I did it just as a general for whatever public type stuff there is, but I still have that feminine energy, so I'm still predominantly because I'm female. So you find where the lady is in the spread. So here it is. There is where that column is that's significant for what my energy is in this reading. So I'm just going to read it from there. And as we can see, the further apart this is above that row, we've actually got what is at the conscious level. So I've got a lot in front of me that I'm actually consciously thinking of and is in my more aware arena of what the energy is around my year. So pretty much all of it looking at this. So we've definitely got the good luck with the clover happening just above me in that respect. So that is the conscious, that the more aware of what is the good luck, that type of an abundance around that, the thinking around that. But then it's also the responsibility in between and the man up the top. So it's actually that connection of good luck and responsibilities with what's happening in that at that conscious level. You know, it's sort of thinking, I suppose, of where the where those thoughts are actually desiring, following what we want to in our desires, I suppose, and our dreams. So between the man up there and the woman, and the good luck about it, what is it that we actually want to have as those good luck factors in our lives, and what we actually do really want to have as the responsibilities, and what part of it we're wanting to drop. So I think in that conscious thought arena that it's going to be along that line. Here we've got what is more, and that is in the present. So what is closest to that, I mean, they call it significator. It's all just language that's with stuff that you do with readings and whatnot. So, there it is. That is mostly the central card. We are, for those of you that may have watched my daily one this morning, we are egocentric to self. So here we are. That's the me in this one, because I've shuffled the cards. It's mainly the energy that I've put into it, but it was with the intention of a general reading for everyone. So just put your, what you see, what you're receiving from this into your context too. So as we're working, you're looking at that, and what is further away, what is closest to you is what is the more immediate timeline, and this is more what is further out. I think that's how I'm reading it from these instructions, but that's the future. This is the past. So we can see that there's been beautiful sunshine and change happening on this column, and what we've got forward is the stars and some commitment towards the house, creating more of the stability around the home, the, what do you call that? Oh, I just can't remember it now. Welcoming people into your home, hospitality. So it really is about that hospitality, unlocking the door to even further beauty around, being a bit more out into the nature. The thing that with that is, as much as that's the future, we are moving into what is our dreams and solidifying that in our thought process, because the thoughts then create what we're wanting to move it into. And then for us, for me, it is the house and creating that beautiful space and place that I can feel comfortable in and love and progress into even further. The garden, and having that at an almost maintenance free, low maintenance and that type. That's the plan that I've got for this year. This is where that's coming into it. So it might be that you have something similar as well, as far as, or do you have something itself that's planning toward? Is it a marriage? Is it something that's a deep commitment along that line, that you're going to set up house together with someone? There's the key to unlock that door and create that beautiful garden of what is your future, what you're growing it into. So that could be what it's meaning for you after a year of, we have had that year of change. And there has been, very interestingly, it has brought out the light to shine on certain aspects in our lives that we now know aren't as important as what we might be moving into this year to refine and define. So, and it certainly is that good luck close to us around that. Yes, responsibilities and all the rest. So that is the direct past, present, future of our own cross, of our own influence in this set of cards, okay, of the Grand Tableau. So then we sort of look at what's the general gist of each of the corners, because they are actually meaning general advice. Now, to do that, I'm probably going to need to shift that down a little bit and scrunchie it a bit, because I can, so that we can actually see those corners. I actually really like having that up in the corner and it looks like I'm looking down at it. Is that too small? Well, doesn't matter. We've got the tree. I like that it's the tree and the dog on the top two corners, the garden and the stalks, but the way it's read is the diagonal corner. So it's the tree and the garden, absolutely appropriate, and it's looking at the longer term plan of what our garden's, planning for what is the longer term growth, the bigger things in the garden, the foundations of it. How are we going to set up what we are doing for this year that's going to be that future growth, moving it into, because we do need, like landscape artists will plan out the full layout of what your garden is, and you might take steadily those moves into building it. I think this is actually indicating that for this year, 2021, that we're going to have that, laying down those plans for the big structure, that is going to last a long time, with the tree, that really deep foundation, and then filling out what is the rest of the garden as we move along. And then we've got the dog and the stalk. So there's things that are changing, and how we're going to change it up. It's going to be a bit more towards that being loyal to those around us. It's having that love, that loyalty, that knowing that there's going to be the help around to shift, to have that change shifting for us, even though that's part of the process of what was the past. It's having those friends around us to move it into that future of stability, loyalty, knowing that we've got the friends around us, keeping an eye on us, helping us along, and all of the rest with that too. So that's how I'm getting the message from those two on the corners. And then I haven't been reading it as in the houses as the base. Now I do need to actually look now which one does which house. Now if you remember, and this is where it can be very confusing for someone that knows jack shit about doing the cards, but as you can see with this, what we've got and where we lay it out here is as a comparison where our significator, as in me, the lady, or that lady, it is in that letters one, and it's actually meaning a bit of lightness of heart and having that lighter year. So that's that feels to me like it's the base of what the year is bringing forward for us, is a lightening of heart. and actually bringing a bit more of a playfulness into our year instead of how it has been in last year's. As we all know, it's been a very, for many of us, a very worrying, concerning, anxious year because of all that's been happening with, virus, pandemic, and all that sort of stuff. It has affected each and every one of us because of the way that the governments have restricted and confined and all of that. It's brought us into that more introspective. Now we can sort of let that free a bit more as those as the borders and everything else start to be relaxed a little, and the interaction with others is going to keep growing again. What is the new normal? None of us will actually know. But it's there in that improving lightness of heart and what we're going to have in our life coming forward in this year now. So we're going to look, as a past, I suppose we can actually look at the diagonals and knowing that the diagonals. Just having a general look at that, we do have what we've got is the I'm just trying to see which ones are the more important, the blue diagonals. I'm bringing that in. Conscious and unconscious influences and present conscious and unconscious influences. So that's the past. So what we've actually had in the past that has been an unconscious, for me, remember I said it's mainly all conscious influence. What we've had in the past certainly has been to do with the hard work that's been put into getting where we are going, especially next to the bear, because the bear's a work card too. And it has brought over those clouds, but we're looking at the coffin, and there has been that direct experience of grief and a physical. There has been a death for someone very close to me. So, and even further afield, there's been 2 friends with mums who've died in this last week, and it just does bring forward that feeling of, yes, there is sadness around that, but it's not something that is because it's, here's the sunshine actually lightening that, but it's because knowing that in general as we age there's that knowing we're born, we live, we die. There is a freeing of the spirit from the body in that process too, that brings us to the experience of us as that human being. So that's what's been brought in from the past, and what's coming in from the future, as far as if you look at the pencil and how it's coming in on that diagonal as a conscious influence from the future. It is the mountains and what challenges there are with those peaks and valleys and whatever might be blocking there, with the influence of the fox coming in as well. It's a little bit of a work card, but it's a little bit of an awareness of what might be the influence we don't really want to have as a direct, sneakiness and manipulation and the rest. But hey, look, we've got that as part of an awareness for what's coming in from that. But there is still the bouquets. It's the congratulations for things that are going to be recognised for the work that we're doing, for what we are about to do. Remember, this part here is the future path. So really what we've got as an influence coming in, it certainly is the fox is a fairly strong influence and having that manipulation around us. And I think really that can be considered to be what the government's doing with various regulations and rules that are being put into place that, hang on, let me think. This is 1, 2. Now I'm just trying to think of the knighting. 1, up 2, cross 1. Sorry, it's the lilies. That's the stronger influence. So that is actually more to do with what is the at peace and having that peacefulness about us. And that's partly, I feel, because of the work that we've had put in through our bear influence. We're actually going to be able to have that time to rest and sit in peace and contemplate. So, and we've got the 2, we've got the anchor giving us the stability that we're needing, and the type of influence through the year that'll give us, as far as it gives us that time to actually do the work around us that we're needing to do. And in this part, it's actually looking at how that, the influence of the tower around the anchor, and being able to do what we need to as far as taking the time off, making sure that we do actually have some resting time. And with a ship, it's about the travel, something that's more than just going for a day trip. It is spending some time away from the home base and travelling with your bags packed type of thing. Allowing that moving into, which we've already done this line, as far as the influence of our home space and committing to that with the dreams that we're wanting to progress and put forward. It really is a lovely influence there. But what we have directly around us is positive in the way that we do have the influence of the clover. It is good luck. It really lightens up and brightens up what is our coming forward into the year 2021. So, and I think that's all I actually want to cover with this one from that directly. Let me just see, because we do have just those extra cards down the bottom. I've just got to move the table towards the window, and because I haven't got much room for the camera. So what we've got here, another confirmation of what is our abundance, because we've got the books, the heart, about the fish, and I've just got to look at that one, the letter. So it's got a lot to do with writing, reading, learning more. It's things I love to do, I might add, and it's bringing a really good influence into this coming year. The fish, it's generally about abundance, but in this I'm seeing what we love, what we're doing from the heart. I love reading. I do like writing. Here is the letter. Now it could be the writing of a book, starting a book, doing all of that. And here we've got, what do fish do? They school. They are actually in that factor of, how you see them in schools of fish and they all turn at the same time and all of that. So as well as the abundance of words, letters, writing and things that we love doing from the heart, I'm feeling that really strongly in what is that space of strong influence through this coming year. So I do feel that we certainly have got things coming forward for us in having that key that's going to unlock what is for us. I think many people are moving into having more focus and awareness on their homes and sharing time with their relationships, which is part of what the house is, and feeling into that. The ring is relationships as well. It's a commitment to someone else or some form of contract in the way of commitment to someone else, that type of thing. So do feel into that in the way, whoops, I didn't need that one on. Do feel into that as what it's saying to you for the coming year. We do have heaps of opportunities really ahead, because there's that yet to be discovered what's going to be the norm coming through. Is there going to be a norm, or are we going to have a lot of flexibility around really needing to find different ways and new ways of how we're going to create our livings and how we're going to spend time together with each other that's not going to put at risk our health and other people's health. All of that sort of combination of what's happening there. So thank you for joining in with where I'm at, just sharing time with you for what, impulsively I felt like doing a Grand Tableau. So thank you very much for that, being here. And I'll catch you next time I decide a spontaneous live stream, wherever and whenever that is. So bye for now. If you really need to actually catch up with me too, I do have the Facebook page. I'm just trying to find where the heck is that one. And I've got to move that down. So it is that one. And it's not showing up properly. Yeah, there it is. I've got stuff in the background that I can't actually see it. So thank you very much, Tracy, for that. Yeah, thank you. Look, it is great cards. I just love the LENORMAND. It is what my favourite decks are, is the LENORMAND at the moment. They're so easy to read and create your own story, to get the gist of what the reading and the meanings are. Nothing wrong with tarot either. There's so many beautiful decks, the oracle decks. All sorts of ways that we can gain our own guidance. I used to like doing runes, and there's certainly different ways of using those, and even pendulums. And because I've got that sitting here next to me as well, reading crystals. There's just so many ways that we can gain our guidance. Yeah, yours too. Exactly. So just keep your eyes out for what feels right for you in how you're getting, what's meaningful for you, what actually gels with you. So, and that's really going with a gut feeling. What are you guided to? What looks like fun? Because I think anything we do, we've got to make it fun. Yes, definitely. Thank you, Roz. Thank you, Roz. You're saying thanks, Roz. Thank you, Marie. So thank you for that. And we'll catch you all next time I pop in. So thank you for being here. Bye for now.